Hey everyone, Matt here and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim. In the last episode, we completed Volume 8, and in today's episode, we'll be completing Volume 9 of Gaze's Cool and Temper's Hot. There isn't too much to say beforehand, so let's get started. Part of you has always been taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and boarding it without looking back. Or, in your current case, stowing away without looking back. Details. The idea had always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey. The wind in your hair and the taste of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial wasteland or landscape. But then you've always liked to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences. Not to mention new friends! In practice, though, this tastes less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. Ugh. It's not unlike the slime that was in Skyla's Recovery, except that slime was weirdly soothing, but this is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping onto some sort of cargo carriage. Oh, how wrong you'd been. The trade-off for not being caught, then maimed and or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred the maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. Azdaja Knalix? Or Amissa Erden? Well, let's go left and then right again, as we've usually done. After what feels like way too long, the vehicle slows down and you take the opportunity to tumble out of your slime jail onto the dusty ground, picking yourself up and hurrying away from the station before you can get spotted. A little while later, you're standing at the beginning of a massive canyon, and your awful train ride almost feels worth it. The canyon stretches on endlessly, miles of yawning chasms and winding ravines at your feet. It's enough to make your mouth hang open in awe after spending so much time in various grody parts of the city. The sight of such pristine natural beauty touches your heart. You feel somehow inspired, like you could belt out an aria or draw a masterpiece if you tried. But before you can begin exploring your hidden crate of depths, you're distracted by noises coming from not too far away. You're not alone. You know what this means. A chance to get yourself more of that sweet, sweet friendship. After so many successful companionship adventures, you're thirsty for more. You pick up your jaw and go investigate. The sounds lead you towards a small trail along the side of the canyon, which in turn leads you down to a roomy platform not that much lower than where you started. There's a series of sharp outcrops jutting out of the plateau, and perched atop the highest one is a figure dramatically framed against the moonlight. At first you think he's peering moodily into the distance, but then you realize he's looking through some kind of contraption on his face. Oh boy, what a opportunity to get a voice for him. Recording coordinates. You look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone else here. So what you heard was this fellow muttering to himself, you guess? I see. He's so wrapped up in whatever it is that he's doing that he hasn't noticed you yet. This guy has got to be hankering after some company, being all by his lonesome out here in the middle of nowhere. You're sure of it. Wave and say hello. Scoring your most winning smile, you call out a greeting and give a jaunty wave. That gets his attention. Well, would you look at what the Purby's dragged in? Are you lost? That depends on your definition of lost. You prefer to think of whatever you're doing as taking the scenic route, just like indefinitely. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Definitely. Your new acquaintance and hopefully soon-to-be pal snorts, unimpressed. It would be better if you did that somewhere else. Better for me, I mean, which is the most important issue currently at hand. Let's face it, I still have preparations to make, and I'm running out of time. You're kind of cramping my style here. Preparations? For the game, obviously. It's starting any minute now. You have no idea what he's talking about. Seriously? You don't know about dual strifers? Wow, you're even more of an empty-headed pleb than I thought. That's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have made a habit of running headfirst into stupidly dangerous situations, but there's no reason for him to assume. Your voice is drowned out by a crackling sound. He's levitating down from his perch towards you, sparks of energy stirring the sand up into a cloud. After meeting Sarava in Kaparam, You've come to expect psionic powers from trolls with yellow blood by now, but it still kind of takes you aback. You stumble backwards, falling on your ass. The troll is unbothered by your spill, continuing to address you while you're sprawled on the ground. I'll explain. Dual Strifers pits Alternia's best and brightest against each other in a timed event designed to reveal the most skilled among the group. Which would be me, of course. That goes without saying. He tells you a bunch of other stuff about game mechanics that, to be honest, goes straight over your head. He's apparently not in much of a rush that he can't stop what he's doing to outline his plans to you, some random passerby, in a fairly detailed manner at that. He seems pleased to have an audience, actually. Wow! This friendship is barely even off the ground and you're already doing great. You get back on your feet and nod along sagely, pretending to understand all his ramblings about strategy and whatnot. Then you notice a blinking light. It's coming from the screen over his eye. Huh? Interesting. My scouter can't retrieve any data on your species at all. He leans forward and looks at you. Really looks at you. Up until this point, he'd been paying more attention to his own voice and whatever readings he's been getting on his device, but now he's focused fully on you. It's starting to fluster you a little, actually. That is, until his mouth twists into a smirk. You get a glimpse at a single jagged tooth. You know, it's technically possible to join in a team of two. But now you're here. Is he saying what you think he might be saying? Excitedly, you clarify whether he's asking you to join the game as his partner. Ha! Sure, I just love teaming up with clueless nerds like you. No. You'd be a nice element of surprise, though. I could use you as a collateral resource. Fodder. A lackey. What do you say? That doesn't sound nearly as flattering, but it's an opportunity to help. And you've founded so many great friendships on doing whatever favors random strangers have wanted you to do for them already. Why stop now? You'll be the best lackey ever. The title might not be much, but that doesn't mean you can't excel at it. You tell him you accept his offer. Heh. Excellent. By the way, I'm Azdaja Keenlax. But you must have known that already. You're not sure why you would. Maybe some kind of big shot? Come to think of it, the name does ring a bell. You've heard it before, when you were in the middle of infiltrating a bandit hideout with a mercenary, Connell. You meant my mate sprint? You must have gotten on your good side, or you wouldn't be standing here talking to me. Because you'd be minced into the ground finer than grub paste. He's grinning like he's really proud and fond about Connell being the sort of girl who'd make mincemeat of someone as soon as speak to them. If he wasn't talking about her literally murdering you, you might find this reaction endearing. Hang on, if he already has a partner, why isn't she here? Azdaja's expression sours abruptly. My partner isn't here because she didn't make our agreed upon rendezvous time. He says the word partner in an overdone, exasperated huff, as if he thinks she might be listening from behind a boulder somewhere and he can somehow shame her into appearing. You remember what Polypa said about mercenary duos often being, quadranted pairs, i.e. romantically evolved. Did his girlfriend stand him up? Yikes. Maybe it's better that you haven't been promoted to partner status if it meant getting involved in another couple's spat. You've had quite enough of that already. You hope they aren't fighting. Azdaja glares at you. The exact nature of our quadrant is none of your business, frankly. Now, come on. We're wasting time. He steps off the edge of the plateau, descending in a crackle of energy and floating you into the canyon along with him. It's a terrifying ride, but the view it affords is pretty amazing. Soon you reach the bottom. We should keep going. There's someone else in this valley. We'll get the drop on them if we move fast. He grins confidently, his coat flapping behind him. There isn't any wind down here, though. Is he flapping his own coat with his sigh for dramatic effect? Heh, first blood to God. Keenlax. Last name, yeah. You blink. Tentatively, you repeat, blood? Yes, blood. He says it in the same way he enunciated the name of this competition earlier, like it should have been painfully obvious. Like I told you, our aim is to take out our opposition, swiftly and painfully. To win, we have to be the last team standing in this entire canyon. Weren't you listening when I explained earlier? God damn it, you've been proceeding under the assumption that this was some kind of elaborate competitive LARP, like solve some puzzles, get out of the giant canyon before the other guy type of deal. Perhaps arm wrestle your competitors into submission if you run into them. But no, this game involves actual violence. You probably shouldn't be surprised. You've been on Alternia long enough now to discern that, boy, trolls sure do love killing. You've made friends with plenty of trolls who have less bloodthirsty hobbies, though. You ask him whether he's ever considered getting into excessive bodily force poetry, or streaming sick beats. Please, you're kidding, right? Now's no time for joking around. Don't tell me you're already getting frosty strut pods. I can't work with someone with such a flimsy sense of conviction. You reassure him that no, of course not. Your strut pods are as saucy as all heck, but he's no longer paying attention to you. His scouter glints. There! He flashes past you before you even blink, riding the waves of his side to a collection of rocks sitting behind you. Target acquired! Nice try, thing you can outsmart me by laying in wait and launching an ambush. Cowardly move, and sloppy. Very sloppy. Now prepare to get owned. Resistance is futile. Oh, fuck. Abruptly, Azdaja freezes. You hesitate, unsure as to what sort of threat you're dealing with here. But then a troll girl with a cerulean blue symbol on her shirt pops up from behind the rocks. She giggles menacingly, making Azdaja turn towards you. His expression is blank. His nifty brain power is now under your competitor's control. To echo Azdaja's sentiment, oh fuck, you need to do something fast. You have the harebrained thought that maybe you can grab Azdaja and physically wrest him from her control. You launch yourself towards them in a mad dash, attempting to call out a chilling battle cry, but it comes out as more of a pathetically broken yell. The girl laughs again. Azdaja's eyes flash bright, brighter than you'd seen so far, almost blinding. Oh hell, those are straight up eye lasers, aren't they? And they're really powerful, holy shit. You've met some strong trolls, but this kind of power is something else. If Azdaja were a character in a video game and you were to assign him a quantifiable number to measure his power, some kind of level perhaps, that number would be, well, it would be very high, is all you're saying. Azdaja's lasers shoot at a point above you, scoring a deep gash on the rock and sending rubble toppling downwards. You reach out, grabbing at Azdaja's coat. You have to get out of here. The girl doesn't stop you, merely leaping out of the way of the certain doom that's hurtling rapidly towards you. You think you see something out of the corner of your eye, some last-ditch hope at knocking squashes flat as a grub cake. You race towards it. Your first thought when you next open your eyes is that death has finally come to tenderly cradle you in its sweet, loving embrace. But you quickly realize that you're in a cave, not the afterlife, and that the reason you can't even see anything right now is because the area around you is brightened by a light coming from Azdaja's scouter. Through sheer dumb luck, you must have run toward the single safe spot in the entire ravine, this hole in the ground. It's as if this hole was sitting here, carved out of the rock, waiting to be your escape route. You might even say this hole was made for you. Fuck! You wince, covering your ears. Could he keep it down, maybe? Your nerves are a little shot from almost dying from the upteenth time this week. No, I will not keep it down! Curses, I can't believe this! Who does that blue blood think she is? Does she realize who she just messed with? Wow, he looks really mad. Instinctively, you reach out to execute that slow face pat that trolls seem to find so soothing, but he slaps your hand away. What do you think you're doing? I already told you I have a Moira. You stammer out an apology. It just seemed like the right thing to. Plus, you thought Connell was his mate sprint? He seems to realize what he just said. A hint of yellow touches his cheeks, just barely visible on the light. That's what I said! I already have a mate sprint! You're pretty sure you heard him right the first time, and you're also pretty sure that those are two different sorts of relationships. But you let the subject drop. No need to rile up your new friend more than he already is. Your shush pat might have been rejected, but the attempt seems to snap him out of whatever pissed off funk he's gotten himself into. Let's get out of here. He follows the path of the cave. Can't he just blast you both out? Don't be stupid. If I did that, it would cause a cave-in. Are you that eager to get crushed? Good point. You're acting just like Connell, so ready to rush in without a game plan. If he means that as an insult, its effect is kind of lost. He sounds more wistful than irritated. You walk in silence for a while. As you make your way further into the cave, you realize that the walls aren't blank like you previously thought, but covered in complicated carvings. Cave troll art, you wonder? I know what you're thinking. That life as a prince among trolls must be an enviable one. Snap to attention. Yes, of course, you were definitely thinking about him and his life story just then. I don't expect someone like you to understand. You're obviously a completely average person who will live out their life in perfect mediocrity. But not me. You don't know what it's like to be born so gifted. Completely average, so that's you alright. You try your best to be sympathetic. Having rad powers must make things really hard. What? No way, it's fucking awesome. But, as you've clearly seen, it can attract unwanted attention from pathetic individuals who aren't nearly as talented themselves, who are desperate to have some unbeatable psionics in their corner. To be honest, the Empire is no different, and it's not like the rebels are much better. Connell and I don't really care, one way or another. We're just here to off chumps and get money. We look out for ourselves first and foremost. But eventually, we'll be sent off planet to do the bidding of the Empress, just like everyone else. Okay, you can see why having no say in the matter kinda sucks. Wasn't there an opportunity to do cool shit in space too? Azdaja's face draws up a wry expression. Yeah, with someone else calling out the shots. You keep walking. After what feels like hours, his scouter flashes again. We're here. He lets the wall have it with his eye lasers. With a resounding roar, it crumbles away. Aside from the spot he destroyed, the rest of the cave is intact. Moonlight spills into the space through the impromptu exit. It's over. We were stuck down there for so long that the game has ended. Meaning, your heart sinks. This was a disaster. He's definitely not going to want to be your friend after losing this competition he's so invested in. We're the last team standing, which makes us the winners. Heh. I knew it. That blue blood loser might have had a stroke of good luck, but she was no match for someone of my station. My victory was a foregone conclusion from the start. Bringing you along was an excellent idea. Your recklessness really came in handy back there. He's thanking you realize? Or something close to it. Mosley, you're sure that was no problem. A prince knows when to give credit where credit is due. Celebration is in order, I think. Once we collect our prize. There's a prize? Fuck yes. Dual Strikers offers an impressive cash reward to whoever wins. You'll get a cut of it as well, of course. Whoa! Money! This will be the first time you've laid your hands on the stuff since you crash-landed. Maybe you'll be able to finally purchase a warm meal? Or clothing that isn't from somebody else's closet? More important than money, though, is that you've proven that you aren't a complete fuck-up. You've earned Azdaja's trust, and also his friendship. Victory! Money! Sweet. Alrighty. And now we continue with the other one. Amicia Erden. It's been a while since I said her name. Or talked to her. And the music is playing in the beginning again. How strange. Your gown flutters around you as you hop off the train. You feel like a very grimy Disney princess with no shoes. Just a deranged Cinderella who left both glass slippers on the castle steps. Before you can decide in which direction to continue your merry jaunt, it's decided for you. As in, a small bluish missile slams into your midsection and sends you tumbling down the hill behind the train tracks, rolling over and over, and god damn do you hope you don't kill anyone with your ass, especially not yourself. You land with a hard thwack on your back. Hey, it is you! The concussion you've just sustained must be giving you serious friend hallucinations. Sorry I hugged you so hard and I pushed you down a hill. I forgot how weak and flimsy you are. Taking Missia's offered hand, albeit nervously, you kind of skipped out on her back there, waiting until she was in the ablution trap and then escaping from her murder studio. You'd been so naive back then. You didn't know about Recuperacoons or grub cakes or hate dating, and oh god, is that a giant oh god, that's a giant mert clown, isn't it? Wow, she's even bigger than the adult you saw at the bandit lair. God, why? Why, whenever you think you've met the biggest, meanest bastard this place has to offer, offers up another bigger, meaner one? Without thinking, you put yourself between Amicia and the Purple Blight. Pretty dumb considering Amicia can pick you up with one hand, but you just rolled down a hill and you are on a peak performance. Chahut! It's about time! This is the one I was telling you about. The one with the precious blood. Purple Blood's slow, lazy smile somehow makes her face paint even more terrifying. She moseys closer, towering over you. Voice time. Again. Woohoo! Also, whoa, Big Mama! A true pleasure, small thing. Any friend of Little Blue is a friend of mine. Especially one who'd look so pretty on the newest page of my scrapbook. Her stomach is dissolving into acid fear. Missia stamps her foot. Don't make murder jokes! My friend is very delicate. You nod furiously. You are so delicate, just a whiff of murder gives you the vapors. Peace and gospel, little blue. I was only playing. Messiahs, no, I'm owed a bit of fun. And ain't it a fair bit hypocritical lecturing me, considering what you were getting up to the first time you and I got to drawing, ripping off heads and all. Amicia goes blue. Chahut winks it, and you experience another spasm of fear. You clench your fists so she can't see your hands are shaking. To distract yourself, you ask her if she and Amicia are mortals. You figure that's always the safest one to start with. Safer than, so do you guys hate fuck a lot? Chahut starts grinning again, and Amicia blushes even harder. No, silly, of course not. I'm way too young for quadrants. No, a couple motherfuckers has started younger than you, little blue. Still, there's no point. I mean, you're leaving in a couple pedigrees. Amicia stares at the ground sadly for a few seconds before she gets herself back together. But that's why tonight is going to be the best. Our final hunt. I'm so glad you're here too. She beams up at you. You try to smile back, maybe achieving half a grimace, when Chahut leans over Amicia. It's with a certain menacing fondness. Sounds like a party, my most vicious sister. Only, we got us a smidge of a scheduling conflict. Let me turn this down again. There we go. Huh? The massacre's tonight, little blue. Last massacre I'll see planet side. Gotta present my glutes and testify before my most mirthful messiahs for the last time. You sure didn't get any of that. Every time you think your days of unbound ignorance are behind you, you turn over a stone to find more little squirming bits of cultural miasmas to suck in. Amicia rolls her eyes. Ugh, more church? That's seriously all you ever do. Sister, we talked about this. To praise the mirthful ones is a privilege and a revelation. My pusher beats for them. It smashes its way through the desolate gauge of my thoracic struts. Yeah, I know. You love clown church. You love it so much you should just put it in a quadrant. Jesus, Amicia. Maybe don't shout at the scary giant clown lady. Chahut puts a giant hand on Amicia's head, ruffling her hair like she's an angry puppy. Simmer it down, girl. Good news is, we got us a tiebreaker. She means you, doesn't she? More decisions? Usually we strive for it, but today, it's all up to you, stranger. Church sucks! Religion stuff is kind of over your head. Besides, you really should stick with a friend who has a vested interest in keeping you alive, rather than the menacingly non-committal clone lady. All of your recent experiences with Purple Bloods have been, well, bad. You are so right! See, Chahut? My friend is no dummy. Chahut's eyes gleam, and for one eerie moment, you think she's just gonna reach down and crush Amicia's skull, or yank out her windpipe, or some other mega violence. But instead, she just shrugs her giant shoulders. Well, that's what happens when you allow for the democratic process. Lead the way. Crap, you're right. If you aren't going to church, you're going on a final hunt. And knowing Amicia, you aren't going to be duck hunting. Also, you don't think the splatters on Chahut's pants are paint. Well, they are paint, but Amicia-style paint. Yay! Come on, quick! I've got something to show you. She takes up off the steep hill. She takes up... That was a fucking air horn. What a music. She takes off up the steep hill back toward the train tracks. Oh man, you are seriously not dressed for all this clambering. Chahut appears to notice this too. Before a few steps later, your feet leave the ground and you find yourself cradled into the considerable bosom of a large clown. Up close, she smells like sugar and blood. No struggling now, sweet thing. Better pray that I don't drop you. Oh, I forgot. You don't pray. Because church sucks. You don't like this. Well, you like not having to walk, and it's very cool that she can lift you like you're a tiny baby, but also, you're probably going to die. You were so busy freaking the fuck out that at first you don't realize that Chahut's carried you past the train tracks to a stand of trees. Oh! Oh no! Ta-da! Amicia gestures like she's a presenter on a game show. But instead of showing you a dope new car, she points to a boy hanging from a rope by his feet, swinging back and forth as he desperately tries to free himself. Chahut, you were so right! Using traps is a total time saver. I'm all about those life hacks. And other kinds of hacks. Haha. She lifts her axe. The troll hanging from the tree screams, and that scream becomes a gurgle, which becomes ringing silence as his head leaves his body, spewing brown blood. It rolls to stop right at your feet. Oh God. You've had enough of this horse shit. Why can't anybody on this goddamn planet, find an ounce of chill? Missy and Chahut watch you expectantly. What? Do they want you to kick the head like this is sport? Like this is the sports? Give a smooch? You know what? Fuck this. You turn and stalk off into the woods. This time you are orchestrating your own failure. So done. Damn. Well, let's run it back. Chahut Maynard. Sweet. Take me, clown church! Shit! Damn. Well, shit. See, that was my bad because I forgot to turn off all the skip options. Because computer problems, and I wanted to get all the befriendments again. So, volume 9. Once more. Chahut Maynard. I've seen all this dialogue, so bam. Take me, clown church. You don't know much about religion, but you have recently become pretty good at reading people. You have the slightest little suspicion that insulting this woman's religion might be unhealthy. Besides, it would be rude. This time when Chahut turns her painted face to you and gives you another of those lazy smiles, you're filled with a sudden flush of excitement. God, what if you could become friends with her? You've never had a friend this cool, or this scary. Missy rolls her eyes. Fine. Have fun, I guess. Doing totally boring stuff. You wonder if it's really okay for you to come with Chahut. Isn't she worried about showing up with an alien? In the past, I might have got to worrying over it. But now, fuck it. What are they about to do? Cull me? Ha ha ha. Might thank him for that. Doing a sister a solid and saving me from having to set foot in the filthy reaches of space. Where I hear they don't follow the good word as close as they should. None of the motherfuckers here have the globes to step to me. So you should be safe. With me on your side, not even one of those slippery fishes would do shit. Slippery fishes. Does she mean sea dwellers? Never actually seen one, which makes sense since they dwell in the sea, but most people seem to be scared of them. You wonder how... Was that someone saying honk? God, this... Oh. You wonder how much higher in caste they are from the clowns. You wonder what they look like. There's still so many things you don't know. You've never been in a church before, but you've seen them in movies and goth music videos, so you know what to expect. Clown church is not that. There's no pews or statues or sad dude hanging from two perpendicular sticks, but there's an altar and a lot of purple candles and rows of flimsy metal fold-out chairs. The same sugary smell that hangs around Chahut fills the place. Someone took stained glass a little too seriously when they decorated, because every inch of window is covered in multicolored... God, why even front anymore? Every inch is covered in blood. Spares of it paint the floor and stone walls. It reminds you of that break room after Connell got done murdering all those kids, except this seems deliberate. Like they decided they wanted a little bit of yellow in the corner, so they walked some poor gold blood over there and gutted them. Welcome to your salvation, little one. You almost run out, but no, you can't. You need to make friends with Chahut. You hang on to that as you follow her to the front of the congregation. As you pass various other clowns, send out honks of greetings, accompanied by the occasional whoop whoop. Chahut responds to a couple with a casual "hey motherfuckers," but most she ignores. Maybe she's too cool for them? You try not to make eye contact with anyone as you go by, or if you happen to look at anyone, you try to throw out the most intense "I'm with her" vibes that you can. A couple trolls look as out of place as you do. Okay, not as out of place since they are actually from this planet, but there are some non-purple guys here who look distinctly uncomfortable. A few of them appear to be chained to their chairs. Cool! Purple Light is standing on a platform at the front of the congregation and preaching? Rapping? Whatever it is, it sucks. There's a lot of uninventive swearing and weirdly syncopated honks. I can't say words. Everyone here is extremely into it. There's a lot of answering whoops and fuck yes. All Chahut has to do is stand there and smirk at him, and he trails off to a nasally honk before scrambling off the church stage. You really wish you knew how to command that kind of respect. Then everybody would want to be your friend. Thanks, brothers and sisters. Today is a singular sort of day. For today I looked up toward the mountain and saw the fire in the sky. That fire is our messiahs, and our messiahs are the fire, feeding a hungry forge in the belly of hell. That sweet salvation of split bone and sulfur-colored eyes. Was it the heat of eternal damnation, or the sweet flame of revelation? All is red ruin. Woe is us, darlings. Woe. It goes on like that for a while. You zone out a little bit. Someone throws a handful of powder into the candle flames, and more of that sugary, sharp scent puffs out as colorful smoke billows up. The purple bloods all start taking deep whiffs of the stuff. It kind of looks like this powder and pixie sticks. Newest member of our congregation. Pixie sticks. Maybe that's why it smells like sugar in here. Invite them to stand up and give glorious thanks. The whole congregation has gone silent. You realize that Chahut is looking at you, and the other clown priest is looking at you. Actually, every single goddamn troll in here is looking at you, except for one small dude who appears to be trying to chew off his own hand to free himself from a shackle. Your turn to testify. Don't fuck this up, little one. Preach! Oh shit. Then when you talk? About what? All that stuff Chahut and the other troll were saying, it just sound like a bunch of bullshit? So that's what you give them. Just bullshit. Reams and reams of fresh, non-GMO crave-age bullshit. Honestly, you aren't totally sure what to say. Maybe some stuff about parting the sea, loaves and fishes, a dome and a rock. You throw a couple whoop-whoops in there for effect, hoping nobody accuses you of cultural appropriation. Luckily, the crowd is feeling it. They all honk and echo what you say, even the cultural allusions they can't possibly understand. They take turns swinging Fago from the communal chalice, passing it around. You can't help glancing over at Chad every so often. Sure, all these weirdos are catching what you're throwing, but she's the one whose opinion you actually care about. She's your current friendship target. She's nodding in approval, occasionally crossing her hands over her chest in what looks kind of like a gang symbol, but may just be a religious gesture. You finish with something about foxes in the jaws of the universe, the convergence of fate, and the cyclical nature of reality. Time is a flat circle. You think you're actually filled with the spirit? Whatever the fuck that means. It could just be that weird smoke. Knew I didn't make a mistake when I put my faith in you, little one. She pushes several dudes out of the way to lean over you, and you don't feel fear now so much as intense pride. Damn, but it feels good to have 50 clowns honking at you for pulling something straight out of your ass. Little one is kind of creepy and you wish she'd stop saying it, but you guess it's accurate? You are little compared to her, but there is only one of you. Come here, darling. Oh, that's an upgrade. Darling. That's friendly? Get up here. Up? How? Two younger purple bloods grab you by the legs. Oh. The church sways around you and you find yourself at clown height, face to face with Chad. Up close you can see the cracks in her makeup. And it might be the light in here, but her yellow eyes look tinted purple. She pulls up close, one giant claw tipping your chin up. She's so close. She leans in and your whole body flashes hot. Oh god. You brace for those big clown lips. Instead, Chad clamps her hand over your mouth. You jerk as your air supply is promptly cut off. The clown's holding you up, staggering until you remember that you can breathe through your nose. You see something out of your peripheral vision, and then something sticky and cold is sprayed onto your cheek. an acrid stench making you choke. You struggle, but the clowns don't let you go. Chad sprays something on the other side of your face. You feel it sinking tacky and stinging into the skin of your cheeks. She releases you for a moment and switches the can of spray paint to her other hand. What the hell? Is that even supposed to be used on skin? Probably not. Hold still, darling. She takes another can from a nearby troll and paints a line across your forehead, her own brow furrowing in concentration. You know what she's doing. She's baptizing you, covering you in the paint of her people. You are being initiated. You can hardly believe it. Tears threaten at the corners of your eyes as you realize you are actually becoming part of a group. Someone on this terrible planet is actually letting you into their inner circle. Even if it is a circle of shitty clowns who go around murdering people and drinking the worst soda in the galaxy. Don't get too overcome now, small thing. I don't rightly even know what you are or where something like you came from, but I can feel the spirit flowing through those alien veins of yours. It's fucking godly, my little one. Amazing! This is so good! Anyone who initiates you into their weird cult definitely wants to get all up in your friendship grill. Chad paints another line, this time over your nose. The paint is starting to sting. The paint on your forehead especially. Oh, wait, that's not paint, that's... Chad drops the spray can. She's looking at her fingers. Oh no, you've seen that expression before. On someone bluer and much shorter, deep crimson drips off her claw. After weeks of rainbow blood, your own blood color looks strange to you. Now that you think about it, it's been a while since you've seen your own blood. Haha, wild! You must be getting better survival instincts. Precious blood. Precious indeed, sister. Yeah. The two other purple bloods put you down with subservient honks. All the other clowns here treat Chahut like with a reverence bordering on awe. Is it because she's the oldest or the largest? Or maybe just the most badass? Your feet barely hit the floor before Chahut takes you by the hand. You smile up at her, happy to go anywhere she leads. Friendship feels so good, especially with people who are bigger and stronger and cooler than you are, which is basically everyone on this planet, but Chahut is especially strong and cool. You're so busy feeling great about your new elite status that at first you don't realize what's happening, where Chahut is leading you. It's to a corner of the church that is a little more bare than other spots. As in, there isn't as much blood. As in, it's the perfect canvas for some fresh blood. Some precious, precious mutant blood. You don't know why Chahut didn't go for you right when you met. Maybe the time wasn't right. Maybe the sight of your red stuff has triggered something in her murder troll in brain. Regardless, you get the feeling you're about to be reunited with the color of your blood quite suddenly and thoroughly. Wait! You thought you were getting initiated! Hell yeah. You're an initiate, my dazzling crimson darling. Initiate of the rarest and most laudable power. A blood initiate. Sacrificial by a beast. You ain't gonna get a better offer than that. Well, when she puts it like that, nope, you still would rather not die. Game over. Damn. Well, let's run it back once more. Alright, time to wimp out. You stand up there, there. Stand there in a cacophony of honks and whoops, trying to dredge up a little spirit inside you, but you just can't. All that noise sounds so much like jeering, and you'd think you'd have gotten used to negative reinforcement, but apparently it's still enough to trip you up. You open your mouth and all that comes out is a croak, like you're a frog failure. Chad's big hand lands on your shoulder. She looks wistful through the clown paint. That's okay, hon. Sit down before you strain something. Encased in a fugue of shame, you do. God, why couldn't you have kept it together for once in your pathetic life? The clown next to you gives you a consoling pat on the knee and offers you a half-empty bottle of Faygo. You are so despondent that you barely cast a thought to juggalo germs, or the fact that Faygo is disgusting. It hits your taste buds like a bitch slap. Around you, the congregation is getting rowdier. The troll beside you shrugs his shoulders like, what can you do? He has a hat and a charming smile. At least, you think he does. You're starting to feel a little weird. Faygo isn't alcoholic, is it? I'd go easy on that stuff if I were you, the troll says. His hand hasn't left your leg. In fact, it's moved from your knee to your thigh. The first time is always rough. Whatever, you're fine. You know all about controlled substances. You're just you're really good at drugs, okay? You're a serious drugger. Druggist? For real though, what is in this stuff? You got high with Sarava and tipsy with Chixie. Ha, that rhymes. That rhymes. She should put that in her next rap. But this is different. This is your brain blowing wide open and the atmosphere pouring in. This is the cosmos kissing your frontal lobe with way too much tongue. Hey, this is my supplicant. Maybe find your own. Chai is standing next to you again. She removes the clown guy's hand from your thigh and extricates the bottle from your grip. Hey, you weren't done with that. On the other side of the church, someone throws another handful of colorful powder onto the fire. More smoke billows up and you feel another wave of dizziness. Maybe it's the interaction of the Fago and the smoke? Is that how science works? Such bad form, says the troll who'd given you the Fago. Bring an alien to your last massacre. One would think you had no respect for your messiahs at all. I think, brothers and sisters, that I might agree with that. A voice rings out across the church. At first you think that it's in your head, the product of whatever weird soup and all the competing substances have created, but everybody else hears it too. Chahut goes rigid beside you, her big, vicious mouth stretched into an O of shock. The congregation falls to its knees in a clattering wave. Seriously, you've never heard a crowd of people go quite so loudly. Chairs are kicked out of the way or knocked over. Kneeling down, Chahut's head comes up to your chest, and she and the clown in the hat each push down on one of your shoulders. Motherfucker, get down. You hit the deck. You half expect the blood splatter to seep through your dress, but it just crusts flaky and dry beneath your knees. You, sister, your alien? Where the hell is that voice coming from? It's deep and gravelly and probably male. Oh, hey. Okay. Oh, hold up. What you initially thought was one from Ellie's knockoff paintings hanging behind the altar turns out to be a screen, which is now turned into a gray silhouette with horns. Is everybody here bowing to some dude who literally Skyped into Clown Church and doesn't even have a user pic? Your Excellency, I wouldn't describe him as my alien exactly. A little too pathetic to really put much bother to. There's a murmur of agreement from the surrounding trolls. Dang, tough crowd. A long snort of breath crackles into static. Who are you to say who or what is pathetic? Chat winces. You're all feckless wrigglers without a bean in your think pans. All the little bloods in here look absolutely terrified, which is nothing new, but for once, they aren't the only ones. Everyone here is afraid, the purple eyes included. You, come closer, little heretic. Let me get a gander. Me? Who? What the fuck you mean who, sister? The motherfucker I'm jamming my point stuff at. You and Shai share a quick, nervous glance. Her throat bobs visibly. Sir, I think you got your webcam turned off. Oh, dang, hold up. You hear a lot of rustling and swearing. All of you hang in the awkward limbo of an old person struggling with technology. Screen flickers and you can just make out a pair of hulking shoulders. Sir, you've got the light behind you. Never mind the light, motherfucker. You, the one in the rumpus robe. Come closer, child. Oh, you. Of course it's you. Being the main character is exhausting. You move closer to the altar. Although you aren't actually sure where the camera is. This guy is someone you would be able to tell. You would be able to tell that even if everyone in here wasn't bowing to him. His voice has a certain quality to it. That's enough. Or, that's close enough. I'm not trying to look up your sniff nub. Child, you got any notion as to who I fucking am? None, except that he is possibly important. It's always a real good time when important people get interested in your insignificant ass. I decide whose ass is insignificant in this house. You comprehend? Sure. Sir? Excellency? How long have you been rambling amongst my brethren? At least a couple weeks. No more than a month. How many are here with you? Just you. An alien invasion force of one, all just wandering the countryside. And still pulling in oxygen? Would have thought someone would have picked their... What the fuck? Dentition with you by now. Same. You got any muscle definition, Wriggler? Show him the gun show, as in you show him how very empty the weapons locker is. Too weak for the front lines, too ugly to fill a pail with. He laughs, low and treacherous. Although your strut sticks ain't so bad. Oh, did a giant clown just say you have nice legs over troll FaceTime? You look at Chahut for help, but she's too busy checking out your gams. Sober, you might have been uncomfortable. Fago drunk, you is pretty zen about it. You're sure it's only a matter of time before you fuck an alien. If it's gotta be with a big giant clown, well, so be it. Yes! Shooting high, aren't you? Now you just feel silly. You're sure this guy that you aren't really after that kind of stuff. There's only one thing you really, truly long for in this world. And what's that, child? Power? Wealth? The right to keep living? Yikes. You realize that everyone in this goddamn church is looking at you, waiting for your answer. Charlotte looks like she wants to grab your shoulders and shake you. Jeez, no pressure. Friendship, you tell him. He laughs long and hearty at that one. You weather it stoically. You, bigger and significantly more attractive motherfucker. Chuck comes to attention. What's your caste name, child? Maynard, Excellency. If I understand rightly, you're about to undergo the ordeals? And I guess that's something I never really understood. No. Got, I guess. The caste name, or whatever. That just seems to be the last name, like the name of the symbol on where one's breast pocket would be. Chahut nods. She looks a little seasick. You're not sure what the ordeals are, but everything around them sounds bad, including the name. Maybe get your shit shot with this one right here. They seem to have the strategy for surviving against all reasonable odds and decency. You could probably use a friend like them. He jabs another big finger at you. And Wriggler? Yeah? Don't let me see your face again. Call disconnects and the screen goes blank. When you point yourself toward the front of the church, everyone scrambles to get out of your way. It's like the big clown's attention has conveyed some honorary status on you. Probably nobody will mess with you for, a half hour at least. You aren't really going anywhere. You just need some fresh air before you pass out. Try to emerge soon after. She looks nearly as winded as you feel. You ask her if she's mad at you, since that could be potentially dangerous to both your life and your burgeoning friendship. Mad? Why would I be mad? Because your inexplicably magnetic charm worked on both my best girl and the figurehead of my church. You flush. The real question is, did it work on her? Shred sighs. What the hell? Old motherfucker told me to listen to whatever it is you can teach. Right, he did. That basically makes the two of you friends by theocratic decree. Heh, guess so. So, darling, teach me your ways. Well, first of all, you gotta fall down a lot. Victory! Yeah! Big clown woman! Sweet, so that was volume 9. Yeah, 9. Of Hiveswap Friendsim. I will hopefully get through this a lot faster now that I have a lot more free time in general. And also summer! Hot weather. So, yeah. That's it for me. If you like the video, like it. If you want to see more of my content, make sure to subscribe. And stay tuned for when I finally and eventually play Friendsim 2, which will hopefully be before the end of the month. At least when recording this, on the 23rd, 4th-ish, I guess. Anyways, yeah. Have a good day and do you do best. See ya.